Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jimmy Faluca, and at the moment, I am not disgruntled. How about you, Frank?
No, actually, I'm kind of happy this week.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, usually we're disgruntled, Frank, but yet, not this week. Monday Night Raw was interesting to say the very least, and for my money, star of the show was Brock Lesnar. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm smiling already. The promo that Heyman cut to start the show was brilliant, as is every word that comes out of Paul Heyman's mouth when he's not talking about 21-1. Brock basically walked into that building to fuck shit up. And I'm sorry, I hope this doesn't offend any of our female viewers out there, but if you want to grow hair on your chest, just watch Brock Lesnar fuck shit up, because that was great. I mean, oh my god. Seeing him F5 Michael Cole was the best part of the night. Then he picks up the cameraman and Stephanie's begging him, please, Brock, stop. And he just smiles and F5s him. And then he spits at Stephanie McMahon. And right after he gets suspended, the fans are chanting one more time, and what does Lesnar do? He gives the people what they want and F5s the cameraman a second time. And to top it off, even though it happened earlier in the evening, the fans were chanting Suplex City, bitch, and Brock himself could not help but smile at the crowd. I mean, Frank, was there a better star on that show than Brock Lesnar on Monday?
No, and let me say, this Raw was one of the first Raws in a long time that I can remember that I actually wanted to see. I couldn't wait for it to start.
There was no fast forward button with me, except until the last match. I actually enjoyed the show all the way up until the last match. The last match is where the last match is.
Went berserk.
Oh.
He pushed over the announce table.
He killed the announce team that everyone hates. Basically,
I remember, like, it was after the first opening segment, and something was going on, and all the announcers were just talking at the same time. I could swear, I was like, I hate these damn announcers. they ruined this show, and it made it so much better when Michael Cole got F5.
Oh, please, I mean,
Michael Cole, he's just annoying. I really don't like him. He's just annoying.
I can't stand the announcing that they've had for the last year and a half. I mean, the last year and a half, the announcing has been atrocious. I mean, Brock Lesnar.
JBL could be cool. He could be cool.
I can't stand JBL, and I'll tell you why I can't stand him. He takes digs at guys that the crowd likes. You know, even if they're heels, he'll take digs at them because the crowd likes them. But he won't take digs at guys that the company likes. Like, he won't take digs at Reigns. He won't take digs at Cena. It is annoying. If you're a heel commentator, let me explain to you what a heel commentator does. Like Jesse the Body Ventura, the best or the second best heel announcer of all time. If a heel was doing something heelish, he would talk about how great it was. If a good guy was doing something, he would talk about how much of a poser they are, how much of a phony they are. Bobby Heenan, another one, was a master of it. JBL is probably the worst heel announcer because
he's filling in that Jerry the King Lawler.
He ain't filling it up because Jerry Lawler back in the late '90s, early 2000s was another great heel commentator because he.
I'm talking about the Jerry Lawler like of the last 4 or 5 years. He's a kiss ass and.
The announcing has been atrocious, and to see Brock Lesnar destroy them, to me, made Brock Lesnar a babyface permanently. Is Brock a babyface at this point?
What's that?
Is Brock Lesnar a babyface?
Oh yeah, the crowd loves him. Even though he did one of the most heelish, heinous acts.
It was great. The fans ate it up. And newsflash, I'm holding up my Austin 316 shirt again. When the fans are eating something up, you give them more of it. And when they're rejecting it, you give them less of it. Right. What is so hard?
What Lesnar did was just the same thing as Austin.
Stunning all the authority figures one by one.
Well, stunning Michael Cole. Like, I could picture Steve Austin stunning Michael Cole. And and the cameraman. And the fans going nuts.
Brock, let me tell you something. Can you believe that Michael Cole's shoe now has its own Twitter account? I can't. Bryan and Ziggler had a great Intercontinental title match.
Yeah,
and wow, Bryan defended his title and won.
Yeah, and what did you have? You had wrestling.
That's a dirty word in the WWE, Frank. Don't say such a thing. Wrestling.
I don't understand. If you have the talent, you have talented guys who can go out there and put on a 10-minute match, 12-minute match. Do it. It takes the pressure off creative to come up with ideas every week and come up with silly angles and silly segments.
Frank, you got to stop making so much sense.
If all of the fans are chanting, "This is awesome," let them wrestle. That's why we tune in to watch wrestling.
Frank, you got to stop making so much sense. They're gonna.
You can't have it. You can't have something all the time. Like you can't just keep have wrestling matches for the whole 3 hours because then that'll lose its steam.
No, of course. You have to have a mix of everything. You have to have a mix of it. Sheamus returned, attacked Bryan and Ziggler, is officially a heel. I think that's the best move they could have made with Sheamus because him as a babyface.
His look was a little out there, and the fans, you look stupid. That was funny.
And the funny thing is, Sheamus was eating it up. He said, "Go ahead, keep giving it to me," and that's what a heel is supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's perfect. Now you could have
because him as a babyface was dog shit.
he was seen the mid card.
Yeah, well, now he's a killer bad guy, which is exactly what he needs to be.
And now you could have a Bryan Sheamus feud for the next 2 months, 3 months, whatever, and you could have great matches. I mean.
Yes, you can. I was dreading Sheamus costing him the IC title match because the fans would have shit all over it. It didn't happen. They were smart. They gave the fans what they wanted at Mania. Well, partially. And it is what it is. Cena came out to cut a promo, and of course the fans chanted, "John Cena sucks."
Yeah, and he acknowledged it, and you could see it's burning him up.
I mean, Frank, I'm going to be very honest with you, and this is something that I need to go off on, if you'll let me. They could have sent anybody that has no steam out there. Why would you send Dean Ambrose out there? Why? Why do you send a guy who is on the cusp of becoming something special? Well, he was months ago until he started outselling Cena, and then all of a sudden he started losing match after match.
Well, I think
they're building
up. I think he's going to win the Money in the Bank, so it doesn't matter how much.
To me, it just annoys the shit out of me that this guy Cena has been hated so vehemently by wrestling fans worldwide for almost a decade, and the company is defiant in making him a villain. Now, I'm also sick and tired of saying he's already a heel. No. A heel does cowardly things, runs away from the heroes, and badmouths the fans. Cena's a passive-aggressive douchebag. He doesn't do any heel things. He ignores the fans because he don't give a fuck, but his character doesn't do any heelish things. So no, he's not a heel already. That's
He acknowledged the fact that he said, "Oh, I see we have a few budding musicians out there."
Yeah, please. He's a complete. To me, I don't care how much money he's made the company. To me, the guy's fucking trash.
Listen, the breaking point is coming quick, and as long as the fans keep booing and booing so obvious, sooner or later they're gonna have to shit or get off the pot.
They are not gonna ever turn him heel. They don't have the balls. This PC bullshit that I am so sick and tired. They're a publicly traded company. They've been a publicly traded company since 2000. What about 2000 to 2008? You're gonna tell me they did nothing edgy during that time period? Oh my God! I'm just Frank. I'm so sick of these apologists.
No, I know. With the merchandise, that's a bunch of crap because he has the most merchandise available to sell. So.
Thank you. And then they'll throw the supply and demand thing at you, which is also bullshit.
And what you call it, the guy Bruce from the other podcast, he made a great point.
Yeah, this is a shout out to
merchandise.
This is a shout out to Bruce Blitz. I'll make sure I tag you on Twitter, bro. I'm part of the Blitz team. I love the show. I love the fact that you tell it exactly as it is. John Cena, if I can, this is a shout out to Bruce. John Cena is trash.
Yes, and he made a great point. He should be selling twice as much merchandise with all the merchandise he has.
You know what's funny? The way Bruce put it on his Payback 2014 review, that's my favorite review he's ever done. If you hate John Cena, you're an internet fan. A lot of internet fans at all the shows John Cena's at. Yeah. I love the Blitz team. I love Bruce. I love Mad Genius. Don't really care much for what's his name? The Brock Lesnar nut hugger on there that always bashes Daniel Bryan. Please, give me a break. I hate that. I cannot stand that guy, but I guess he's doing his job.
I don't understand. What the hell is an internet fan? Internet fan was back in the day when
what is it? Exactly. You're talking 94, 95 when the internet was just coming up. There are no internet fans, dumbasses.
That's like saying in the 90s, oh, you're a cable fan.
All right, let me ask you something, Frank. Hang on. I gotta look around here. Here you go. Here's my New York Islanders shot glass. I'd rather see them win than the Rangers. Does that make me an internet hockey fan?
No. I mean,
okay, here's something else. Here's something else, Frank. Here's something else. I'm holding up season 1 of The Big Bang Theory. To me, that's the best sitcom show on television. I think it's better than anything else. Does that make me an internet TV fan?
Exactly.
So then someone with a set, with a set of balls, explain to me why it is I can have an opinion on this and this, but I can't have an opinion about this and talk about it on the internet without dumbasses coming at me sideways. There's no way you guys could be that dumb. You guys are either immature or you're just fucking stupid. And I'm gonna go with...
That's like people who go out and boo the home team.
Exactly!
You boo the home team because you don't like what the players are doing, you don't like the players on the team, or...
Anyone that knows me knows...
You're an internet baseball fan?
Exactly! Anyone that knows me knows I am a die-hard New York Mets fan. My all-time favorite baseball player is Mike Piazza. For selfish reasons, my dad was a great catcher when he played ball. Mike Piazza is a great catcher, and the guy could fucking hit the ball anytime you put him up there. I can't stand the Mets ownership. I think they suck. I think they make terrible business decisions. I think they make good players. They take these good players and make them suck. Another thing they do, they let a lot of good players go. I think it's retarded. I think that I'm a New York Giants fan. I think their defensive coordinator is horrible. I mean, look at the last 2 years. Look at how they've been playing. Does that make me an internet football fan? Fucking really. I'm just so sick of the labeling. But if you don't agree with WWE on their decisions, that makes you an internet fan, Frank, basically.
They just try to spin it. That's all they do.
Exactly. You know what's funny? What makes me laugh is that all the cities like New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, those smart cities, as these dumbasses that unfortunately actually go out and vote. That frightens me, Frank, that these people live amongst us. Those same cities, Vincent K. used to fucking gauge his wrestlers in front of those crowds. Why all of a sudden are they being labeled? Because they're not going along with what he wants. And you guys eat it. Like children, you are spoon-fed, and you eat it. If you guys...
That's the true mark, if you want my opinion.
I'm sorry?
That's the true mark, if you want my opinion. People who keep eating it up.
And accept everything without having any cognitive thinking. To me, that I just don't get it, Frank. I don't get it. Why is it that in any other genre, like, okay, I'll touch one more and then we gotta move on. My favorite guitar player of all time is Jimi Hendrix. I think he's better than Randy Rhoads. I think he's better than Jimmy Page. I think he's better than anyone else that's ever picked up a guitar. Does that make me an internet music fan? What the fuck?
No, it's your opinion, and it's an opinion shared by a majority of the people.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, He can fucking play the guitar with his teeth. Come on now.
Well, listen, at least they're starting to they have acknowledged it here and there, you know.
And Frank, to close this part of it off, where is the only place the WWE Network is available?
On the internet. I know. Listen, I know that. You know that. But you know, people are just it's just like when they say, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist."
Exactly, because Frank and I, which you guys will find out in a few weeks, which we'll be starting our podcast, Talk the Talk, for free. We're not charging anyone to listen to our show. We want you to listen and enjoy.
Not that anybody will pay for it, but
Frank and I are big into politics. We actually think about things that matter. You know, what goes on in our country. If you think anything other than what the government says, that automatically makes you an anarchist and a conspiracy theorist and a nut and a whack job and a kook. I've been studying the JFK murder since I'm 15. I believe JFK was murdered by the Central Intelligence Agency and the Mafia. I don't believe Lee Harvey Oswald did it. That makes me, in the government's eyes, a conspiracy theorist. I think that George W. Bush lied to get us into war in Iraq and Afghanistan. That makes me a conspiracy theorist because I don't think that he went there to do the right thing and defend our country. I mean, fuck.
But that's the same thing WWE does.
That's what I've been saying, and that's why I get so fucking... Most guys think I'm crazy because I get so angry about it. That's the reason I get angry about it. I apply it to the same thing as politics. If you think different than the establishment, they label you.
Listen, but anyway, if John Cena has the potential, and whenever he says yes, he could go down as one of the best heels of all time. I mean, he'll get booed, not because he'll get real boos as a heel, and he could be one of the best heels of all time.
Oh, he's definitely got it in him. They just don't have. They just don't have the.
He already has it in him. Him attacking like Daniel Bryan.
Oh, he would get booed out of the building.
Yeah, but that's what you want. That's what you want. That's what a heel does. That's what a heel does.
I mean, I said it months ago. I mean, if they wanted to really play the Authority versus Bryan story out perfectly, you take Orton out and you put Cena in his position, and it works. Can you imagine the Authority coming out and saying John Cena is the face of our company, he is who we want, he has the look we want, we don't want Daniel Bryan. Do you imagine, Frank, how emotionally invested the crowd would have been into that? They were emotionally invested in Bryan from the start because he's just that fucking good.
We've been behind Cena all along.
I mean, can you imagine if that's what they did? Oh my God. In the main event of WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena with Cena as a heel? Holy shit!
That's must-see TV.
That's money right there. So, you know, I mean, Frank, to me, it's gone so far past the point of absurdity that, you know, I think, listen, if you like John Cena, good for you. If you hate Daniel Bryan, good for you. Because I hate John Cena, that makes me, apparently, Frank, it makes me immature, it makes me childish, and it means I don't know what I want to do with my life because I hate John Cena, and I always say that I hate him.
He needs to change his character.
He isn't going to.
Oh.
And it's all, to me, it's all on Vince and it's all on him. Because to me, Cena does have pull backstage. You're going to sit there and tell me that all the power Hogan had, all the power that Bret had, all the power that Rock and Austin had magically disappeared with this lame-ass motherfucker? Not a chance.
But the guy who at the end of the day controls everything is Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but I think if John Cena actually marched into that office and turned and said, Vince, I've had enough of this crap. They are booing me. They don't like me. Let's make some money off these assholes that hate me. Let's give them, I say, okay, half of my audience that has standards can't stand him. The people that don't have standards do like him. Like the kids and the women. The women like him because they want to bang him. The kids like him because they want to be him. The kids are going to go along with anything you want. So if you teach them to boo Cena, you have 100% of the audience booing him. So You could make him go down as one of the greatest heels of all time if he plays up that hatred and actually uses it.
And then you know what? Whatever he wants down the road, you could always have Cena coming back home to be.
Oh, absolutely. Eventually, he would have to become whole again. I mean, Hogan did. Hogan
and the fans would go nuts.
And the fans embraced Hogan when he turned back as Hulkamania. You know, you would think that they would see what I've noticed is that they don't care about what their audience thinks. Daniel Bryan's push in the last 3-4 months is proof that they don't care.
Yeah, but they do listen to the audience because look at last year what happened
well, the reason last year went the way it did was because of 3 reasons. Number 1, Batista was universally rejected. CM Punk walked out at the last minute, and lastly, they had no choice. They really had no choice last year. This year, they had a choice. And to me, what it did was, it proved, even more so, that the plan all along was not for Bryan to win the belt. Punk has admitted that. Bryan's admitted that. Triple H has admitted that. But yet some people actually think that from SummerSlam 2013 all the way to WrestleMania, the plan was set in stone for Bryan to win the belt at WrestleMania. And this year's Mania booking proves it's bullshit. Because where was Bryan this year? He was in the first match. And he was the first guy to come out. And that pissed me off. I'm sorry. I have no...
That could be good because you want to open up WrestleMania with everybody chanting yes. You know,
well, to me, I have absolutely no faith in them that they're ever going to put the world title back on Bryan. I don't think he'll ever sniff the main event of WrestleMania again. I've accepted it. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose my fucking mind over it. I love Bryan, but at the end of the day, I don't think the guy fights for his fans as hard as they fought for him. Because I think if you give Stone Cold Steve Austin this kind of booking, and he was as over as Bryan is, he wouldn't accept it. Brett wouldn't accept it. Rock wouldn't have accepted it.
Well, I don't know. It seems like Daniel Bryan, that's the true personality.
It is who he is. He doesn't give a shit about politics. He doesn't care.
His attitude is, I'll shine no matter where they put me. You know?
No, absolutely. And to anyone who thinks that Daniel Bryan's not a draw, he's proven he is. I think that, moving forward, I don't know how much longer Seth Rollins is going to have the belt. I would love to see him have a long title run with it. I foresee Roman Reigns eventually beating him for it this year.
Listen, I said it from a while back. Now you have the opportunity to give these guys a test run. You give Rollins a test run with the belt. You can Reigns a test run with the belt, and then if all else fails, when Brock comes back, you can put it back on him. And they shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't be afraid of having Reigns and Rollins trade the belt.
Not at all. They should not be afraid because you're building new stars. I think that this year at SummerSlam, the main event should be a triple threat match with the Shield.
Well, I don't know. I think Brock's going to be there, so I think he's going to. You have to put him in that line.
Well, who knows? Now that he's feuding with the Authority and he's butting heads with them, I mean, I hope we don't get another Brock Lesnar Triple H match. I have no desire to see.
I think we're going to get at least Brock Lesnar. Maybe we'll probably see a triple threat match with Rollins, Reigns, and Brock Lesnar.
That could be interesting. I'm going to be at SummerSlam this year with a couple of friends. My good friend Joe Valenti, shout out to you, Joe. You're a hell of a guy. Secured me a ticket. And I will be in attendance.
Where is this, at the Barclays Center?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. That's pretty big.
It is pretty big. I think you should check to see if there are any tickets available, Frank. It'd be nice to run into you there.
I could walk there.
I know you could. I'd like to see you before SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, we'll see each other.
We should definitely do something beforehand. I'm hoping that the directive, now that Bray Wyatt has crossed paths with The Undertaker, is that he follows in the footsteps of The Undertaker in the aspect of he becomes an anti-hero. Because I think that the money in Bray Wyatt is him as an anti-hero. Now, could you imagine Bray Wyatt having a match with Triple H? From the aspect of, you know, for whatever reason their paths cross, Triple H brushes him off like he's a nobody, but then Bray Wyatt could turn around and say, "You don't get it. I'm the Reaper. You're not immune to me, no matter how much money you have. You're not immune to me, no matter where you live. You may live in your palace in Connecticut, but I'm Bray Wyatt. I'm still the keeper of the keys, and your soul will be mine, come hell or high water." I mean, I can't cut a promo like Bray Wyatt. The guy, to me, is...
But you want to talk about another guy teetering on becoming a face. I think at some point last year he was a face when he had the whole crowd and arena chanting, he's got the whole world in his hand. He had the people with the cell phones. So
to me, the fans are just waiting for a reason to cheer for him. I don't know. Do you feel that, Frank?
I think people were cheering for him already. I mean, when you have the whole arena singing along to the song and the whole arena lights up their cell phones, that to me is telling you that, he's getting a big reaction,
Same thing with Reigns. I think the money in Reigns is him as a cocky, arrogant asshole. Look at how it worked out for his cousin.
Yeah, look, as long as you have a balance, you have the balance of
absolutely.
You have good heels and you have good baby faces. You can't have too many of each.
No, of course not. Excuse me. I think a couple of the NXT call-ups are going to be very helpful to the main roster.
What'd you think about Neville debuting?
Oh, I love it. I love Adrian Neville. The guy, to me, is amazing. I don't think he needs that stupid fucking cape. I think
they dropped his name. He's just Neville, and they put that purple cape on him.
See, for me, NXT is proof positive that if you give the fans pro wrestling, they'll eat it up.
Right, and he got a great reaction on Ross.
Absolutely, and let me tell you something. When he hits that red arrow, he makes it look easy.
Say again?
When he hits that red arrow, he makes it look easy.
Yeah, I try to stay away from NXT because I don't want it to spoil my my fun when they come up with Raw. So I like to see. I read about them. I keep up on them, but I like to see them on the big stage.
Well, apparently they're going to be in the Manhattan Center. Which, if that's the case, Frank, you and I will be in attendance.
I'll be there, but see, and it also doesn't prove that everybody from NXT is automatically accepted. We saw the Ascension, they got crapped on.
Well, the Ascension ended up flatlining for the simple fact that they automatically tried to compare them to legends, and they had the announcers basically shitting on them. You have your announce team shitting on your talent. That's a surefire way to fuck them up.
You could tell in the first 20 seconds, 30 seconds how the reaction is, and you could feel the electricity went. You could feel the
Ascension was fine as they were in NXT. They did not need the face paint or the shoulder pads.
Right. But
that was bad.
I'm saying with Neville, you could see once he came out, you could see that energy.
Absolutely,
and
the guy's good. The guy's really good at what he does. In your opinion, what is the one NXT call-up that you are most... Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. The Ice-T's acting up on me. What is the one NXT call-up that you are most looking forward to?
Well, from what I hear, I guess Finn Balor is going to be is the guy that they want. I mean, I think Sami Zayn should be up already.
Well, he's there under his own accord. He decided to stay down in NXT.
I think he should come up soon, and I think they got a couple of blue chip guys. Kevin Steed, Kevin Owens. He's going to be a big time. Finn Balor.
I'd like to see Kevin Owens package pile drive Michael Cole.
The guy Hideo, he's money,
Absolutely. The one I'm most looking forward to is Finn Balor. If, God forbid, last year was Taker's last match and Bryan had to retire due to injury, Balor would be my guy. To me, he is the one, no pun intended, to me, he is the one that, to me, will connect with the audience out of all the guys they have down in NXT. I think Kevin Owens... the guy, to me, is an absolute monster. He could be that Brock Lesnar type. Not that he'd be a UFC fighter. But Kevin Owens could be that guy that just goes out there fucking destroying guys, and you just want to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, I did see his debut, and he looks like a guy, he has that street presence, and he looks like he's a traitor. Like you don't know if he's a face or he's a heel.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, everyone knows who Owens is, but they still boo him because he does his job so well, and that's a testament to Kevin Owens, especially in these times where the line is so blurred. You know, what's real, what isn't, and you know, what is it that the company wants, and what is it that what the fans want. You know, he's one of the guys that, as a heel, he gets a heel reaction 100%, which is great. But one thing I've noticed with his matches is like the match he had with Sami Zayn and the match he had with Finn Balor. Both those matches, I didn't care who won because the matches were so good. You don't get that with the main roster. But that's going to do it for this segment, and Frank and I will return with our final segment coming up. And yes, we will be discussing possibly the biggest WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 32.